We're going to make sure that everyone can hear us before we start. So if you guys would just put it in the chat, if you guys can hear us. And I'm actually getting my phone out to look up something here.
Mine don't even show you what line you're.
Yeah.
Will that show you online?
I'll try it.
Well, I got a notification saying like Chaos Servers is live now, but
It ain't.
oh, no, I got it.
I'm glad you did. Try
Well, I got it. Like Chaos Servers is live now. Okay,
Okay.
we're good.
All right. We can sound good. All right. So
Shut that thing off.
I'm trying. Tonight, guys, we're coming to you to talk about Brian Colbert. Brian Colbert's been missing now for going on 30 days. 32. He's from Princeton, Indiana. We have been searching for him for the past 2 days. If you guys haven't, if you guys didn't notice, we have Lee Downen here. I actually said it
Right
this time.
You guys have been friends forever, and he still doesn't get it right.
Nah, he says my last name wrong almost every
No.
time.
He's been helping us out for the past couple of days with the little buddy and also being on the big boat out in the Wabash River. We've done several searches on the Wabash. I'll let Lindsay explain what we have done so far. So, yeah, let's get this started. And while she's talking, I'm going to throw out some pictures of Brian and his car and also where we have searched.
So Brian was 47 years old when he went missing. He is from Evansville. He worked in Princeton at the Toyota Bashuko plant. On December 9th, he left work, stopped by like a pizza parlor, went over to some friend's house, hung out there for a while. And from there, that's where the trail ends. Brian went missing in his 2017 Toyota Avalon. It had on just like the paper temporary tags on it. The car wasn't even 30 days old yet, or he hadn't owned it for 30 days yet. So it still had the temp tags on it. When Brian went missing, his phone is completely turned off, doesn't ring, doesn't even go to voicemail. It literally, you can call it and it just makes a click noise, and that's it. That's all you get. When he was reported missing, eventually the case had gotten turned over to Indiana State Police. And from there, they were trying to, they're working with the phone company and his car, the company or whoever Toyota has as kind of their tracking. They're working with them to see if they can get any information. Unfortunately, it sounds like Brian's car is just 1 year too old, that it was on the old 3G towers, and those are all down now. So they're working with them to see if they can find any information out. We got here, was it Monday night? Yeah, today's Wednesday. So we got here Monday night. We went and met with Brian's family, spoke with them, got, as many of the details as we possibly could. We're kind of still sorting out with the family, what do we know is true? Like what is hard facts? And then, the speculation that they've heard. So, we're working with them through all of that, like possible different scenarios and different routes that Brian would have possibly taken home, things like that. We had asked them, for a list of places that they would like searched, and his stepdaughter was amazing in providing that for us. When we spoke with them, their first choice was the Wabash. 64 leaves Princeton and goes straight into Mount Carmel on 64, and in that process, it crosses over the Wabash River. So yesterday, we searched from the Mount Carmel boat ramp downriver, and then on our way back upriver, back towards the boat ramp, that's when we went over towards White River. We searched quite a ways down White River, and then went back, got the boat out. We had went and looked at on the bottom of that picture that Jacob has up right now. You can see there's a little pond there that we had went and checked it dry, like bone dry,
completely.
Then there's also Broad Pond. Unfortunately, Broad Pond, it's huge, but is completely gated all the way around and is owned by Duke Energy. There wasn't even a section where a car could have gotten through. Like the fencing's not broke. There was one spot where it was like bent over, but it looked like a tree had fallen, but a car couldn't get through there. Right. So that took Broad Pond out of the equation for us. Is it something that if we need to go back to it eventually, then absolutely. We'll work with Duke Energy, see if they'll give us permission if everything else turns up empty. From there, we went back, reviewed like comments and things on our post, on the family's post, on Brian's missing persons posts. And we noticed that somebody had said farther up the Wabash, there was a spot where it used to be Grand Rapids Hotel. That area, so today we put in the Wabash, went up, but once we got up there, it was 2 foot.
Yeah,
it got there's a dam up there under the water that you can't see. It got to the point where we had to turn around because it was like an inch, like a foot and a half of water at one point. So
there was rapids up there. There was a retaining wall. It almost looked like a low head dam.
Yeah. So we got out of there, but we do feel, we're confident in what we searched up that way.
The deepest spot is about 8.5 to 9 feet.
So after that, we knew that we wanted to head back towards Princeton since that's where he was last known to be. And from there, work our way towards Evansville. He could have taken a couple different routes home. There was one pond in Princeton, this one right here. It's owned by a church, but you cannot see the pond from the church. You can't see the pond from the surrounding houses. It's all heavily wooded. Even right now with everything being dead, no leaves or anything like that, you still couldn't really see any of the houses or the apartments. So with it being kind of on the outskirts and hidden, we searched that with a little buddy. It was clear. It was 2 feet.
2.5 feet, somewhere in there.
Maybe.
Oh no, it was 2 meters.
So
it was about 6 feet, 5 or 6 feet.
5 or 6 feet. Yeah.
So definitely could have contained something, but it did not. From there, we went over to Brian's place of employment, TBIN, Toyota Bashuko of Indiana. They have a couple of ponds on their property. We had asked their permission to search those. Unfortunately, that was not given to us. The employees that they encountered were incredibly kind, but it was a corporate decision, and corporate would not grant us access. They said there needed to be a subpoena or a search warrant.
Search warrant.
And since we don't have those, it's not something that we have. We were denied access. It's unfortunate, just because Brian is one of their own, but we also understand that decision, and hopefully, in working with Indiana State Police, we can figure something out to where we can search their ponds. There are 3 additional ponds that surround Toyota that are not on Toyota's property. The one in the top right-hand corner that where Jacob's mouse is at, we searched that one. A ton of big fish, but that was it.
Shh. Can't be telling people secrets in the fishing places. There's big fish there.
The 2 in the lower left-hand corner, those are owned by Spectrum Logistics. So we went in, we spoke with them. They said, absolutely, go search. They said, we don't see any tire tracks or anything. We haven't noticed anything. But again, that doesn't mean that even if it's not Brian, that potentially somebody else could have been in there. Both of them were very, very easily accessed from the road. Both were, the first one was 10 feet deep.
14.
14
14, and then the back one
was 8.
was 8.
Because I guessed that one right.
Yeah, Lee got one right today. So good job.
I think that's
We used the little buddy to search all of those areas. We searched the Wabash and White River, with the big boat. As far as going forward, there's 3 more ponds that we know of, like right now, where we want to go get on. Again, the little buddy will be used. But there's also, we're coming to you guys knowing that he was last seen in Princeton. That's where he worked, and then he was at some friend's house in Princeton, and he was supposed to be heading home that night. In the surrounding areas like ponds and lakes, river access, water access that you guys may know of in the area, that would, just give us more targets to search. Other areas that we may be missing. Google Maps is 3 to 4 years old. Google Earth, same thing. So we sat across the street from a pond today that wasn't even on the maps.
Mm-hmm.
So with him only being gone for 32 days, anything within the last
couple years.
Yeah, a couple years. So if there's anything that you guys know of from Princeton to Evansville, no matter what the route it's on, because he took a couple different routes home, if there's anything that you guys know of, let us know so we can add that to our target list.
With all of these being searched, the little buddy has came in clutch. So that's definitely, if you guys haven't seen that, we've had it in our videos a couple times. It's an invention that Team Waters made, Dennis made, that it's an RC boat, goes in the water, sonars the water, and we can bring it back and watch it on our computer. With that, it's been awesome. Saves us a lot of time, and it's a pretty good unit. So the reason why we're having this live stream, as she said, is for you guys to reach out to us and give us some information. But it also lets you guys know what we're doing, how we're doing it, why we're doing it, being transparent as we can be with you. I do know that I haven't been able to get videos out as I should. And I do apologize for the people who say that these live streams suck, because they say that. So I don't know what to say to you guys that you don't like, but I do know that people are out there wondering what we're doing and how we're doing it. We're always on the road. We're always searching, and we need your guys' help. So please help. You have been a lifesaver in the past 2 days. So you've worked your butt off, and I appreciate it. So
there are some people asking about Ring cameras and things like that in the area. There was a Ring camera on a neighboring house somewhere that saw his car leave the neighborhood, tearing out of there, which his family feels is extremely unlike him. They said this man was the slowest man you have ever met. Like, he liked to drive slow. You heard his music miles before you saw him coming. It took a right, and then from there it's gone. One of the problems is that in him being from Evansville but going missing from Princeton, there was some miscommunication between departments and that kind of thing, and cameras and things didn't get looked at until, I want to say, like 5 to 7 days after Brian went missing. So the problem with that is that a lot of business cameras, things like that, they only record for 24 to 48 hours. Right. So on Wednesday is a racing Monday. So, and that's totally common. That's extremely typical, because a lot of businesses can't afford, I don't know many people who can afford to have that kind of memory and storage space to just continuously have your cameras recording and never erase it. So there were some Ring cameras that were reviewed.
That's fine print for me from here.
And put, and so it did give a direction of travel of his vehicle. Whether he was in that vehicle or not, nobody knows.
What is your takeaway on the past 2 days you've worked with us, Lee?
I mean,
kind of set him on the spot.
Yeah, he's good at that. He did that yesterday too. I've been behind the scenes, kind of an old person with Chaos Divers for quite a while, and these live streams and the videos I've watched and being friends with them, I've stayed in pretty close contact. So a lot of the videos and stuff like that are going out really are as close as a representation of what we are doing as just the everyday person is going to get. And it really is close to what we're actually doing when he's trolling along in the boat or whatever. And it's whether it's a video that he posts later or if it's a live stream, that's legitimately what is going on. And I knew that going into showing up to be here. I was more or less here just to be helpful for the last couple of days.
With Lee, we pretty much started about the same time in diving. He pursued more of the instructor.
Yeah, I don't know how you say that right.
Instructor
role.
There you go.
At Mermet Springs.
I like dinner rolls.
I like them too, as you can tell.
Cinnamon rolls.
Mermet Springs is a great facility to learn how to dive. If you guys haven't checked them out, they're south of Vienna, 10.5 miles in Belknap, Illinois. You get to see him and Terrence and Glenn. They're all great people. That's where Lindsay and I and Eric learned how to dive, and he's been with us. He pulled out. If you go to the website chaosdivers.com, you'll see him and I on a 4-wheeler. That was our first. I think that was my first vehicle pull.
It may have been. That was early on.
Well, maybe not my first vehicle pull because I think I pulled one before, but first one on my own together,
right.
Doing that. So
and then the Bell Smith Springs.
He's the OG in the Bell Smith Springs searching.
Them are old videos.
Anyway, I wanted to get you guys up on who he is. You were going to see him a lot more often. He's able to break away from life a little bit more. If it's not searching, it'll probably be at the Springs. But like I said, with these live streams, it's to get the information out, show you what we're doing, tell you where we've been. There's no secrets here. Brian Colbert needs to come home. His family, they need him home. If you guys have any information, if you know anything, it could be anonymous. I have an anonymous tip line. I know that the moderators has been throwing out there. If you throw me a message, throw me a fake email, just something to give us a direction to go. We're going to continue to search through the waterways. And, yes, Brian Colbert probably has a past. And yes, he is Black, but that doesn't matter. He's a human being that needs to be brought home, and that's what we're going to do. There's no judgment on anything.
People are asking you questions.
I'm trying. I can't read.
All right. So, questions. Sorry.
So, someone said, was he supposed to be going home to someone, or did he live alone?
Yes, he was actually supposed to come home to his
family,
his wife. They were going to watch a movie around 10 o'clock-ish.
And then just a couple days ago was his youngest son's birthday. Another big reason why his family doesn't think that he left intentionally or that he would have done something to himself purposefully. He had Christmas, he had his wife's birthday, and then his youngest son's birthday. Like, all right, bam, bam, bam. Like, he never missed work. When his wife said when everything was in shutdown, he still went to work. Like, he was all about supporting and providing for his family. So for me, I know that, sometimes we hear like, oh, they're an adult, they can leave if they want to. Your family knows you best. And if your family feels it in their heart that something is not right, whether it was an accident or something happened to him or someone did something to him, he didn't come home, and they know that he should have, and he would have if he could have. So
absolutely. I know that this guy has to go to church this evening. So he's going to have to get out of here. So, guys, I just wanted a short update. If you guys have any information, is there other questions that we can answer real quick? Do you have anything?
I'm looking.
Again, somebody asked how long he'd been missing, so I guess just a brief, rundown.
Re-summarize.
Yeah.
We're searching for Brian Colbert. He's been missing for 32 days from Princeton, Indiana. He left his home. He left two friends' house at
sometime between around 10:30 is when his car was seen
on the Ring camera.
On the Ring camera. Again, we don't know if he was driving or not.
From there, we don't know where he went. His wife was supposed to expect him home. It was expecting him home. He never showed up. We drove one of the paths of the most relevant path, the easiest path, right? The quickest?
The quickest, the most direct.
The most direct path, just to look for an accident area where it could turn and didn't make it, or went in the woods, and we just don't see. I mean, we ran that path, and I ran it slow on the interstate. There's nothing logical of an accident. We're going to run the slow path, or the most indirect path that he took when he wanted to switch things up from work to home. We're going to search that path tomorrow. But everything that we've looked at, there's just no waterways directly in there, or really nothing that has alarmed us.
No, there's some little side ponds and stuff, but so somebody said the completely dead cell phone is really strange. I've never heard, in the past, even if I turn my phone off and somebody tries calling it, it's at least going to go straight to voicemail. It's not doing that at all. And it started doing that click that night. So the cell phone company, I believe the term that they used with Brian's wife is that it was terminated, almost as is the SIM card was taken out and the cell phone service to that phone was terminated, is what they said, was right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not just I threw it and it broke. It's the cell phone service was terminated to that cell phone.
It could have been water. It's just going straight to a click.
Yeah.
Noise.
So.
What were the weather conditions? Cold, but clear, right?
Yeah, it ain't been bad. There ain't
No. When he went missing.
Oh.
It wasn't rainy.
No,
it was just cold.
It was the beginning of December.
Yeah.
It was cold then, but it wasn't raining, snowing, icing, sleeting, anything like that.
Our goal is to search every waterway that we can find. We do not have permission, TBIN, to search for their own employee in their own pond. Very rare that he would be in there, but it's a possibility. He could have forgot something at work and came back to work. Stuff like that. So the possibility is there. I don't know. But we do want to check that waterway. So hopefully we can get permission. Like I said, it is their employees. So
again, he worked in Princeton at TBIN. He was visiting some friends in Princeton, but he lived in Evansville. It was 41-minute drive,
something like that. Depending on the actual route.
Yeah. So.
It's a corporate decision. They don't know what's going on. They don't know who we are. I mean, I can understand it. It just sucks. It would take us 5 to 10 minutes to run little buddy around there with the sonar and get out. That's it. Anyway, guys, I know that he's got to get going. He was supposed to be on the road, so I think that's pretty much the gist of things. You guys know if you guys want to support what we're doing, check out chaosdivers.com. There's all kinds of ways that you can support our mission and bringing them all home. Please do. Lee, thanks again for coming out with us. I appreciate you. Seriously, it's
my pleasure.
It's an honor to work with you again. You got anything else?
Nope. Just people asking questions.
More questions?
Yeah. Like, do we know whether Christmas was organized or if he was lacking anything expensive? Christmas was like done, taken care of. Like his wife was out shopping that evening, you know, like jokingly sent him a text, like, you know, I was out shopping for Christmas, like bring me home some more of that money, you know, but like Christmas was good. He worked his butt off to make sure that Christmas, his wife's birthday, his son's birthday were all good and taken care of. So there weren't any major stressors. He had even made plans with his wife that evening to like, you know, hey, you want to watch a movie tonight? Like, go ahead and take some chicken out of the fridge and, you know, we'll have dinner and a movie. And so he had plans with his family, you know, to be home that night, which is another, you know, one of those just kind of adds to the what the heck happened. More of, you know, this wasn't intentional.
You got to get that here, right?
Yeah.
5:57. Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Again, if we didn't get to your question, I do apologize. Get us some information. Get us all you can. Like, I want this to blow up for the family. The more people know, the more pressure, the more, you know, just send us an anonymous tip.
You guys can get a hold of me directly at chaosdivers.com. There's a chat now button. And I can, you know, any information that you guys have or ideas of where to search, things like that, just let me know.
What was the name of the Toyota place? TBIN.
Toyota Bashuko.
Bashuko?
Yeah. TBIN. If you Google TBIN, it'll come up.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that, but that's, I mean, you know, I'm not saying let's.
Well, you basically did.
Okay. So anyway, guys, love each and every one of you. Keep diving. It's not worth the stop.
Love you. Bye.
You don't have a catch line, do you?
I don't. I'm a nobody.
You are
He's
somebody.
recently escaped.
That's right.
You guys have a nice evening. Thank you so much for your support again, and see you guys.